Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. I have a letter that came into customer service, and this one comes from Greg Boggs. And Greg Boggs says, help needed. Have had several surgeries and want to know if I will be able to use your instruction and products. First time golf player. Okay, Greg, I guess you sent this question into the right place, and the answer is absolutely yes. The Peak Performance Golf Swing is a limited turn 3/4 backswing swing, and it is absolutely the most body friendly golf swing there is. Anybody that's been on this site knows that the number one key to this swing is that I am the first instructor that's taken the physics of the ball and the club and tied it in together with physiology to create a swing that is the most body friendly swing, and a swing that can be produced by a human being that maximizes the laws of physics needed to the golf shot. Okay, now how did I achieve this? Well, it started out in my quest to get rid of my back pain right here back in the early 80s. I had a pain right here that never went away except in December, January, and February when I didn't play golf, or almost so little golf and never practiced because it was very cold. And then in March, when I got into a good regimen of practicing and playing again, it started to come back. No matter how many aspirin or ibuprofens I took, no matter how many, even I went to the chiropractor every week, stretched every day, the pain was there. And it was always there and in my swing, but it especially got bad right about when I'm swinging. Back then I used to take a big turn. I took as big a turn as I could and went to parallel. And once I could get to here and there's no pain, and once I did that last move, it was like a knife stuck in me. So I decided one day that, hey, if I can get to there and it doesn't hurt, and I go to there and it kills me, don't go there anymore. So I started practicing. I figured out a spot where in my mind I didn't go past here. That's where I came up with the concept of the bell position, where I ring the bell and bang, I'm already firing the other way, which makes sure I don't keep turning and going longer. And so that's how I came up with the bell position. And so that when I got there and bing bang and I started my downswing, I started practicing every day, and in a matter of I already had the pain this one year when it was there, when I decided to not go there anymore. I'd say it took me 4 days and my back wasn't hurting anymore. 4 days and the pain was gone. So I knew I was onto something. Just about that time, the other great thing that happened was my first book was published, Golf Plain and Simple. And I got a phone call just about that time one day, and it was from a gentleman named Dr. Ned Armstrong. He's an orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist in Alpharetta, Georgia. And I was in Kennesaw, Georgia, which is by the way the bird flies no more than 30 miles from him, but if you had to drive during traffic, it could take you 2 hours or more to get there. But Dr. Ned said he read my book and he was very interested in it because he said I was the first golf pro that he had ever read anything about, read their theories and everything, that had a sensitive feeling, and basically stated that the body, as being a part of the swing, we ought to try to figure out how it's designed to be used and use it in that design. And so, like I've always said, you have two tools when you play golf: the golf club, which should fit this body, and the body is a tool. And like anything else, if they're designed properly, they should function efficiently and consistently, and preferably without pain. And over the years since I've been teaching this now, since about 83, 84, I started maybe around 82. I've been with Dr. Armstrong since no later than 83 or 84. We've been together. We've done biomechanical studies, and every study we've done 2 of them so far. One was used for a master's thesis at Cal State Fullerton, and that was one where we showed that if you took a parallel swing and you shortened it to 3/4, you did not lose club head speed if in fact you gained club head speed. All right, and so that was the proof that you could swing shorter and not lose distance, but in fact gain distance. And in it, there were a number of references made to how this was a much body-friendly golf swing, and how with golfers who only had about 15-20 minutes to practice, after we taught them the elements of this swing, this setup and swing, and they practiced about 10 or 15 minutes, stood up, shortened their swings, because they had to be over parallel swingers to qualify for this. So we took them from over parallel to shorter parallel, and this club head speed was the same or increased. But even if it was the same, the long swing was in negative acceleration and impact, and the short swing was still in positive acceleration. And so what does that tell you? That tells you that you don't lose club head speed. You in fact very likely will gain club head speed with the 3/4 swing. But other comments were made as to the fact that being a master's thesis, he went in and studied more things about biomechanics and stuff, and mentioned that it was amazing how fast they learned it, so it must be an easier swing to learn it. They learned it in no more than 10 or 15 minutes hitting balls after I talked to them about it, and then they did their final swings to get the test between their original swings, which was now almost 2 hours earlier than that. So he said the swing was much more body friendly and easier to learn. So we know the swing works. We've done some other tests that show that there's less stress and strain on the body. Hopefully all of those will be coming up on our website pretty soon. We're getting them reevaluated for some second opinions by some of the most learned people in the fields of biomechanics, kinesiology, and so hopefully that'll be up on the site in the near future. But we've had hundreds, and if not thousands and thousands of people come to this site and do emails about it, saying how it's helped their swing. They not only got rid of their pain, but they now hit the ball better. I've had people call me and say they learned to swing and their back pain went away. I've had occasionally we get somebody write in and say, I'm thinking about having surgery on my back. I'm actually scheduled for it, and I found your swing. I wasn't even supposed to swing, but it sounded so logical and good. I went on the yard and made some swings, and it didn't hurt me. So I canceled the surgery. Now, when I get those, I always write it back the same thing. I'm the swing surgeon. I'm not the back surgeon. I'll send this to the back surgeon, and I know he'll answer. And Dr. Ned always does, and he comes back with the same answer. Well, if this new swing doesn't hurt anymore, when your old swing did, then you know it's very likely to swing. He said, I would take that up with your doctor right now and say that, hey, I found this new swing, and despite not supposed to be swinging, I've gone out and done it, and it doesn't hurt. Can we put this surgery off and let me see what this goes? And in many cases, the doctor very likely will go along with that. And I know Dr. Ned always goes on and says, okay, now you get this chance. If you have been able to do a lot of things, like try to get more fit and everything else, do that. Use this as another excuse to not only play golf, but to get more fit and to keep your back stronger. But we've seen everything. I've seen people show up for lessons. They couldn't even stand up. Their back hurt them so bad. They stand there, they listen to it. When I get up and they finally start swinging and they start making some swings, if you've been swinging poorly and twisting and turning and all your muscles are gripped up and tightened up and spasmed up, and you finally start making correct moves, those spasms will many times start to loosen up a little bit. All right, and I've seen people where they could barely stand up, but they had to try it, and they start swinging, and the first thing you know, they're saying, hey, my back's feeling better, and they start inching it up a little bit more at the power level, and they hit it good. But this is without a doubt the body friendly swing. But let's not be tricked. Because we've been so successful, because the peak performance swing has been so successful, advertising itself as the body friendly swing, and we got the biomechanical data, the scientific data, we got the results to prove it, but we've been so successful, there's a lot of other sites out there that are calling themselves body friendly golf swings. All right, one of the first things Dr. Armstrong told me the first time I ever met with him, he said one of the worst things for your back is a wide stance. And one of the swings out there that teaches a very, very wide stance is using body friendly as their moniker. All right, well, all I know is I remember the first thing Doc said was wide stance is a back killer, because you create these opposing angles and it causes a lot more twisting and tilting of your hips at the spine, and it just beats up your lower back. But you see that all the time. Just ask your question, does this conform to physics when you're looking at a swing? And if they're talking about a huge turn, does this conform to your physiology? The body only has, a human spine has only on average about 28 degrees of rotation from the top to the bottom, 28 vertebrae. But the bottom 5, the L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is where almost everybody has back problems, doesn't even have any ability to twist. So you wonder why when you're twisting and turning and making these 90-degree plus turns and snapping your hips back like that and finishing over here with your right shoulder at the target and your chest is over there, which means you twist it all the way around, your legs have locked up. You wonder why your back's hurting, and you wonder why almost everybody with back problems has lower back problems, because that one don't even turn at all. We hardly move. We're quiet legs, hit the ball, maintain our angle, lift the club up, and just swing our arms faster. We are the body-friendly golf swing, so do not be deceived by a lot of other swings that are teaching and saying that they're the body-friendly swing. See if they can back it up with a swing that is limited turn, swings the club vertical, right, up and down, gravity. I heard a swing the other day, I heard this guy say, this is a light club. Yeah, he said, this is heavy, this is light. Well, it's nowhere near as light as this one, right? Just drop it in harmony with gravity. Over here, this club's still going to fall back there. So a lot of them are getting on our bandwagon, but the only problem is they're using our terms, but they can't walk the walk that they're talking. Only we can. If it's got to be 3/4 and a limited turn and vertical to be a body-friendly golf swing, because the body is not designed to make big rotations, and the club is at its lightest, and when it's in harmony with gravity, up and down, and gravity is the #1 law. You want gravity as your friend, not your enemy. So if you got any physical issues or whatever, if there's one swing that can help you, it's the Peak Performance Golf Swing, bar none. And just go to the site and check it out, and you can start reading some of the blogs, and you'll be seeing it all over the place. People just getting up there and praising how this swing has saved their golf game, saved their backs, and not only that, they hit it much more solid, straight, and longer, and shoot those lower scores. Well, that's it for the Surge for today, talking about the body-friendly Peak Performance Golf Swing. And that's it, and I'll be talking with you all again soon.